Hi everyone! So today I'm going to guide you through some more drills to help you build more strength in your shoulders, your arms and your core to help you work towards those headstands. We're going to come straight into it and start off in a dolphin pose. So elbows are shoulder width apart. And remember, a good way to check is to just make sure you can ring your fingers around your elbows. You can interlace your fingers in front, a nice loose grip here so you're not gripping really tightly onto your hands. Tuck the toes under, start to pull that belly in, draw your belly button back towards the spine, and then exhale to push hips back and up towards the sky, just like a downward facing dog. For this first one, you might be feeling quite tight in the backs of your legs, so you can shake those hips out left and right. You could pedal your feet out, maybe walk your feet a little further back. And just really focus on the opening in the shoulders and the chest first. Pressing down into the elbows, the forearms, and then pushing those hips back and up. And now be aware of the ribs. Pulling the ribs in, hollowing out through the belly so we've got a nice flat back. Stabilizing the lower back and beginning to switch on the core. So we're going to stay here for 3 more breaths. Just shaking out your hips, walking your dog out or your dolphin out. And then now we're going to find the dolphin pose, finding stillness for 10 rounds of breath. So holding here, you can keep those heels lifted away, keep the knees slightly bent, but keep sucking that belly in, hollowing out the belly, pulling your ribs in towards your spine. Breathing in nice and deeply. Five more breaths. Okay, and then when you've completed those 10 rounds of breath, gently lower your knees down to the mat. Come rest in child's pose for a moment. Hips down towards heels. Taking as long as you need to rest. Now the next position is our forearm plank. So we're still staying on those forearms. Similar setup to before, but you can walk your elbows and your hands a little further forward now. So we've got the whole length of the mat. Keeping those shoulders stacking over your elbows. Find that half plank position with the tailbone tucking under slightly. Pulling your belly button back towards the spine. And then really pressing down into the elbows, into your forearms. Staying here if this is already strong enough, or find your full forearm plank by tucking the toes under, lifting those knees off the mat. 10 breaths here. Finding a straight line. Breathing nice and deeply. Five more breaths. Two more breaths. Hold here. And slowly lower those knees down. Come back to your child's pose. This time you might like to bring your hands beside your body or even interlace your fingers behind your back. Rounding forward, rocking side to side. Okay, so next position, we're going to come into those dolphin walks where we find the dolphin position. We're walking the feet towards the elbows, and then you've got an option to start to lift one leg up and hold there. So we start to really get used to that sensation of bringing a lot of weight into the upper body, into the shoulders, into the arms to hold up that body weight essentially. Okay, so remember, head is off the mat still. Really just working on building that strength first. Okay, so dolphin, pulling those ribs in. This time on the inhale, you can start to walk your feet in closer towards your elbows. And then on the exhale, walk your feet away. Let's do this just 2 more times. Inhale to walk your feet in, starting to stack those hips over your shoulders. And then exhale to walk your feet out. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Okay, so you can just continue to work on this today. Otherwise now, you're going to walk the feet in just as close towards your elbows as you can. When you arrive there, start to lift one leg up. Can you lean your weight a little further forward, hips over your shoulders? Hold here for 3, 2, 1, and then lower that foot down. Bring your other leg up, maybe leaning over, coming up to the very tops of your toes, tips of your toes. 3, 2, 1, and then lower down, lower those knees down. Rest here in child's pose, sitting all the way up. You can shake out those arms for a moment. Okay, so all of these drills now we're just slowly adding on, and we are actually going to come onto our head today. So now, just like your dolphin, we're actually going to set up the arms the exact same way, but this time we're going to begin to place the crown of the head onto the mat. Now just being really careful that it's the very top of your head on the mat, and then your hands are actually going to open a little bit and come to rest just behind your head. Okay, so if at any point you feel any pain at all, or your neck just doesn't feel quite right, you're feeling a lot of pinching, back out straight away. Do not press ahead and risk injuring yourself. Okay, so dolphin, set up, palms are open this time. Crown of the head is going to rest onto the mat. And suddenly you're upside down. So just notice how this feels for you. Maybe it's enough to just work on this sensation today. Notice if you're placing a lot of weight on your head. Let's work on this feeling of pressing down into those elbows, into the forearm so much that you can lift your head off the mat and then lower your head gently back down. Okay, so inhale to lift. Exhale to slowly, gently lower the crown of your head back down like it's grazing the mat only, barely touching. Exhale to lower. 2 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower, so we're working on the shoulder girdles here. Exhale to lower. Okay, so maintain the sensation of like you can lift your head at any time. Now, if this feels okay, we're going to think about tucking your toes under and then starting to lift your knees off the mat, just like a dolphin, but your head is on the mat now. Seeing how this feels. Maybe it's enough to just work on this. You can drop those knees down at any stage. If this is still feeling okay now, just like we did with dolphin, now you're going to start to walk your feet in closer. Keep pressing down into those elbows and forearms. Keep walking your feet in towards your elbows, starting to stack those hips, and then you can walk them back out. Walk them in, and then walk them back out. So we're getting used to putting more weight gradually on the head, using that core. Walk them in, walk them out. Lower your knees, rest down in child's pose again for a moment. Forehead on the mat, decompressing your spine and your neck. Okay, finally now, we're going to start to really work on bringing a bit more weight into the arms and onto the top of the head. So you can do this facing the wall if you need something to kind of fall back on, or just that sense of security. Otherwise, you don't actually have to come up on your head, so if that's not where you're going today, maybe you just want to stay in the middle of the room. Keep your elbows shoulder width again, bring the top of your head down on the mat again, tuck those toes under, start to walk your feet in. Now there are a couple of ways to come up. So this time, from here, you might want to do what we did before in dolphin, lift one leg up, start to lean your weight forward a little bit more. Maybe you can find that you start to be really light on your bottom foot, and your bottom foot starts to lift, creating this L shape with your legs. Lower down, maybe you can do the same with the other side, just lifting one leg up. Maybe you stay here, maybe you keep leaning forward, until the bottom foot floats up. Maybe that's it, and then you lower down. Otherwise, maybe from here, you keep walking your feet in. Another way to come into headstand is to squeeze your knees in towards your chest, like you're tucking in, curling up into a little ball. Squeeze both knees in and just find your balance here. Okay, and you can lower down. Come back to child's pose. Walk side to side. Catch your breath. And then slowly you can sit all the way back up. Okay, so you can see how all of the drills we did today are kind of just adding layers on each time. So we're beginning to really put more and more weight into the arms and shoulders and getting used to that sensation, used to that strength and the just that feeling of being upside down when we eventually do come into a headstand. So just keep working on these drills. Make sure you repeat them as often as you need. Pause the video, come back. Don't feel like you need to move at the same pace. Okay? And eventually the headstand will come a little bit more easily. Keep practicing. Namaste.